This is for educational purposes only. Definitely educational purposes only, nothing else. Hey guys, my name's Zane. I'm here with Valor Defense. Today we're going to be looking at some firearms today. Specifically, we're going to take a look at the firearm that was used at the UHC incident in New York, the assassination. Now, I'm no expert hitman, but I like to think I know a little bit about suppressed handguns. Now, first off, if you take a look at his firearm, the police recovered, well, they say it's the firearm, but it's a 3D printed frame on what appears to be like a Glock style pistol, Glock pattern of handgun. 3D printing, probably not the best system to use on firearms just yet. I know we're getting there, but it's not quite ready for all that yet. It's pretty shabby. It's not quite as strong as some of the actual injection molding and some of the other materials they use in actual firearms today. Probably not a good way to go, but maybe it's the only option he had, so that's what he went with. Now, another option to go with, if you've ever shot a suppressed pistol before, you know that you need some kind of piston or booster assembly if you've got a tilting barrel, just like on a Glock. So, it's a Browning style of action. You have a tilting barrel. This barrel has to tilt up in order to help this gun cycle. When you add weight onto the end of that barrel, that's going to mess with that. So you need some kind of piston, Nielsen device, booster, whatever you're going to call it, that allows the suppressor to unlock from that device and allows the gun to cycle. If you don't have that, you're going to run into issues. There's just no doubt about it. If you don't have a fixed barrel handgun, you're going to have problems. It's a must for suppressing pistols. So if he did have a pistol without a Nielsen device, what he's going to do is he's going to shoot that handgun. It's going to attempt to cycle. As you can see in the video, you see gas coming out of the ejection port. That's a semi-auto attempting to cycle. Gun tries to cycle. Too much weight on the end, it's going to have a malfunction. It's going to have a failure to eject, most likely. That's why he's having all those issues and he's trying to rack it. Some people are trying to say he's using like a well rod or the B&T, like the Station 6, VP9. That's just not the case. He's using a semi-auto and he's trying to fix those malfunctions because one reason or another. Now, if he's using a Glock pattern pistol, that's a striker-fired handgun. Striker-fired guns are very reliable, no doubt, especially the Glocks. But Glocks specifically were never meant to really run suppressed. That just wasn't a factor when they were made. So suppressing them is doable, but typically you can have some issues. Just like the pistol, or just like the piston and the suppressor, you need that. Glocks can be hit or miss, depending on the caliber and the model. Most 9mm ones, you have a better chance than some of the 45s and the others in my experience. That's why you see a lot of guys playing with maybe the weights and this guide rod and stuff like that. A better option to run suppressed for a handgun would be something like a hammer-fired action. Something like the Sig Sauer 226 or any of the HK hammer-fired guns, CZ, Beretta M9s, anything like that would have been a more solid option. These guns have slower unlock times than striker-fired pistols. This allowed more suppressor, more gas, more stuff to go down the suppressor and vent out that way instead of back into the system and causing an issue. It's just physics. Striker-fired guns tend to unlock faster, so you tend to see that more often with striker-fired guns. Now, there's a good chance he was probably running subsonic ammunition as well. Subsonic ammunition is going to go slower than the speed of sound, so you don't have that sonic boom, that crack, like the crack of a whip. If you've ever shot guns or ever been around that, you know what I'm talking about if you've shot suppressed. Now, most typical range of ammunition in 9mm is going to be 115 to 124 grain. Once you step up from that, you're going to like 140, 150 grain for subsonic ammunition. This is very heavy for this caliber. This stuff, it will cycle in most guns, without a doubt. But once you add that onto all the other issues and suppressing the system, you're going to notice you're going to have really weak ejection, or you might even have stoppages and malfunctions. Subsonics just tend to induce that more than in 9mm than just regular supersonic stuff. There's just less pressure going on. Now, compound all that stuff with the fact that he may have shot that gun, he may have shot that suppressor. Any number of things could have happened. If he has a dirty system overall, you're going to have issues. Just today, we were shooting some of these pistols that haven't been shot in quite a while, or maybe you saw a lot of full auto fire on something. A lot of carbon buildup in here can stop that piston from doing what it needs to do and actually moving. Like this one. This one's pretty gritty itself. But if you have any kind of issue in there, you're going to have problems. There's just no way around it. If you have a dirty gun, you're going to have problems, even though Glock's pretty solid. But that's like a wannabe Glock, if I'm being honest. There's a lot of things that go into suppressing a pistol and doing it accurately and reliably. One other thing I noticed is that his first shot appeared to have hit the guy in the leg or pretty low in the body. Once you put a suppressor on a pistol, you're going to have a point of impact shift, no doubt. Especially with piston systems, how they work, you can change your lockup by moving it around just like that, but it's never going to be perfect. And if he's never shot that sight before, he's going to notice that, which looks like he did. Or maybe he just doesn't shoot handguns very well, which most people don't. Nothing wrong with that, just practice. But that's a handful of things that we've noticed from watching that video. that can translate over to what we do every day. But my name is Zane. I'm here at Valor Defense. If you guys like this kind of content, leave a like, give us a follow, give us a shout out, whatever you want. We appreciate you watching.